Hey everybody, it's Commander Clyde. Welcome to another dual tier list update. Today we're going to be going over the last two live patches and checking all the god balance, and I have it over here for reference, so there's no way I can possibly miss anything this time. So, and with that, that also includes a Cthulhu patch. So that means we're going to be placing him on the tier list. Now you will notice that Smite Guru has bugged and the A tier has disappeared in the edit mode for some reason. So bear with me. I looked it over first and none of the A tier gods are going to be moving up or down, so we'll just pretend for now. And with that, please go down. Okay. Uh, Keeping that in mind, Cthulhu would be an A tier, but I can't put him there because it's broken. So he's gonna go in the bottom of A plus because can't do that. But just think about him as being A tier. And now I know he's fresh in everyone's mind and everyone thinks he's OP, but we're talking about duel here, and he functions very similarly to Jormungandr, who I currently have in A tier. So it stands to reason that a similar aggressive guardian would go in the same spot. And I think Yorm in duel is actually a little bit better because his ultimate can allow him to escape. And he can also deal damage with it. So you could do both. You could deal damage, and if you need to run afterward, whoops, you've still got that option for you. Cthulhu does not have that option. He has to dump everything on you. And if he does and doesn't win the fight, he can't run away because, well, he's Cthulhu. What's he going to do? If he ults, it doesn't matter. You can still take damage and probably kill him well before he can kill you. So, yeah, that's his main problem is he can't run away once he goes on a target. And in duel, when you're not really one-shotting anybody, that's going to happen pretty often. Anyway, with that, let's look at recent balance. Moves and Cobb got buffed, so he stays where he is because he's already an S+. Baba Yaga, not enough to move her. Good thing, too, because I have her in A tier and I can't, well, as you can see, can't do anything about that. Kronos doesn't move. Fenrir, let me see where I've got the boy. Already at the top of A minus, so he's already in a pretty good spot. They gave him a slight buff on his brutalized cooldown, which isn't really enough to move him up past, up past where he is. I might have already been overvaluing him a little bit, but he's a really good early game character. He can get a lead incredibly easily in a lot of situations, and he usually will just win because of that. So keep him in S minus there. So Freya item changes and things like that. That would obviously make her significantly better. I haven't really seen it though at this level to put her in S plus. So we'll move her up in the tier so that it makes a little bit more sense to put her next to Olerun. Agni, you need to just go somewhere else. Like right there. Okay. So yeah, it's enough to make her more competitive, obviously. But I still don't think she's in the very top because early game still isn't that good. If you get a good fight on her early in duel, you can get a first blood with her against her pretty easily. I actually did that with Fenrir the last time I played Fenrir. That was about a week ago, so those buffs were already in, and so were the new items. So yeah, that's the one situation. Obviously, if she gets in a late game scenario, you're probably going to lose. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because it's Freya. A couple of gods that don't matter, skipping them. Don't need to know. Buff to this one down here, but not enough to move. Nemesis I already had overvalued, and with her buffs she's a little bit better, so I'm gonna keep her where she is. Reason to mess with that new buff that doesn't matter. Soul has increased competitive viability, so she can go up here next to Xbalanque and Freya. Same things with her, some slight buffs, and then the items that have been put in make her a lot stronger. Alright, let's see here. Terra doesn't matter. Zhang Kui, where do I have you? A plus already. He's already at that A plus level. So yeah, I don't see much of a point to change where he is, because I don't think he's bad enough to be A tier. I always think he's slightly above that. Alright, that's one patch. Let's look at God changes in 7.7, which is the mid-season. Be some repeat gods in here, and we'll ignore those probably. Ratatoskr actually might... It's tough to say. The one acorn he gets that gives him the 5 acorns on his 3 is obviously a pretty significant buff to that ability, because it's much easier to hit a stun, because you still only have to hit 3 acorns, which is normally all of the ones that he uses with that, but with that one of those new acorns it gets 5 on it, so that's a pretty big buff to that stun. And I think I would put him up in this area here with his other above average assassins. That's, relatively speaking, a pretty slight move for him. I wouldn't go as to say he's in OP territory or anything ridiculous. I wouldn't say he's a ban-worthy character. He's much better than he was. And that's the one thing to keep in mind. It makes him a competitively viable option. Alright. Ao Kuang got a completely ridiculous buff. And I can't find him. Is this a bug? I can't find him. Did I accidentally put him in A tier like an idiot? I may have. Because there've been 2 buffs and I didn't move him. Well, not 2 buffs. Yeah, there was a buff before this last one, and I still didn't move him. Forgot that Ring of Hecate was completely broken on him before it was in its current state. And I never removed him. Okay, so yeah, pretend he's an S minus, because I don't know where he went. I must have had him in A tier by mistake. But pretend he's like up here somewhere, you know, in this area. But yeah, he got a big buff to his not a big buff, but his Wildstorm got a cooldown decrease, and then his dragons got more of a buff slow on using the ranged attack from it. So big changes, and he was already an A plus, I think, because of like itemization being silly with his lifesteal. And then that would just put him further up here. I consistently have undervalued him, but clearly Ao Kuang is much better than I ever gave him credit for, and I would go so far as to say he's S minus with some of the gods up here. Anyway, Apollo got a gigantic buff. I can't find him either. What else am I missing? I don't know. He wouldn't be an A. Like, where did I... He's just straight up gone, dude. What? I wouldn't have put him in A. He would have been an S minus. because he's better than Chiron. Okay, just accept everything is bugged, guys. I know I keep repeating this, but it bears repeating because I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea with God, with where I have the gods placed, because the website is bugged. Apollo should be in S minus. Like, he should be ahead of Fenrir, honestly. He's close to fighting all the gods up here. So yeah, anyway, he got a big buff to his protection on Mesmerize and his ult scaling, which is significant. I mean, the god should already be in S minus as it is, so fine. I don't think it puts him in this upper tier necessarily in the S plus, because that's a pretty big leap, but he's obviously in the top line of S minus, but he's just missing from the tier list. I don't know. So I know I had him in A plus at least before then. Whatever. RTO is not playable currently, so it doesn't matter. Baba got another slight buff, which I think she's still kind of crap in duel, so she would stay in A. Bakasura can't go up because his god's not totally broken. You can beat him with these gods in here, so I don't. SS is irrelevant to me. This category doesn't exist. Because in duel there is not currently a god that outright wins everything. Because Bakasura is usually balanced between all the other gods up here. Baron got some slight buffs, not enough to move him. He's already an A plus to S minus tier god. He's also not here on the tier list. I'm straight up just missing gods that. Not only am I missing the A tier because this is bugged, but I am also just missing certain gods completely from the tier list for no reason. I don't know what happened here. Okay. You should be able to see him when you click the link and you're not looking at it in edit mode. Cerberus, slight buff. Obviously, he's not. Well, his performance lately, from what I've seen from him, I would put him in A tier, but I can't do that because, well, yeah. Actually, let's do this and pretend he's in A tier. Pretend he's in A tier. Okay, there you go. Chiron, slight buff, he stays where he is though, because he's already S minus. Cupid, slight buff, stays where he is, because he's already top line S minus. Medusa, big buffs, Viper shot at all ranks, more acid spray scaling and range, longer root duration, lots of big things. She would be an S minus, but she is also apparently entirely missing. So, there you go. S minus, top line S minus for her, probably. On a good day, she'd be S plus. With that, Mulan stays where she is. Neith, I have pretty low on the tier list, and she is also entirely missing. So we cannot place her. Too bad. I would think she would get a slight move on the tier list, though, because of that backflip change. That's actually kind of a big deal. And then you get the full attack speed debuff at all ranks versus it scaling up. So, there you go. Nemesis stays where she is because we've already been over that kind of Oleron. Like, still think he. God, oh. This is going to be controversial, but honestly, his performance with new items and stuff, damn, this god is so annoying. Like, being games where I'm ahead, I've got a ton of anti-heal, and it's not enough to stop this garbage, dude. It's not enough. there's just Ring of Hecate is so broken on him, and he heals so much from his autos if he's got lifesteal. It's insane. This god is so hard to stop. The gods up here could do it, but anything down here, you're gonna have a hell of a time doing that. Set gets a slight buff. He would probably be in S minus to A plus. He'd probably be maybe second line S minus on a good day, you know. I would say the god's fallen out of favor a bit. Got some buffs that'll hopefully put him back in there. Because his passive got a duration increase, skewer got a damage and a scaling increase. Spawns a set, deals damage scaling up based on skewer's damage up to 80% at rank 5. Big changes, so S minus definitely for him. But again, missing completely because this website is great. Sun Wukong is irrelevant. He's never been a good dual character. I don't care really about where he is. He's he's A plus tier, like period. Sylvanas is irrelevant. Thoth changes don't mean anything. The mirror changes. Like I can't put a guardian in S minus, you know? Like that's silly. There's no way you could do that. No amount of buff to this character would make me do that. Guardians have a lot of fundamental problems that make them incredibly difficult to win with. Even Ymir being the best one, it's still a stretch late game if you're going to win anything. So yeah, and that's all the live god changes we got here. So thanks everybody for watching. Sorry about the tier list bug. Hopefully that will be fixed sometime. Most of the gods will still be where I put them on the link that you guys click on, because you're looking at the live version of the tier list, not the edit mode. So it should be fine. Just keep a note of the gods I said, how I would move them if I could. Remember these two. Anyway, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list update. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. And as always, check the helpful links down in the description. And I'll see you guys next time for some more Smite. Have a good one.